Okay, this is a really important video, and it has to do with like a single-step mole to atom problem versus a multi-step problem. And so the first thing that you're going to need to know is how to distinguish between what an atom is versus a molecule and a formula unit. So let's look at some things right here. Let me just draw this out here. So if you had like calcium, all right, versus calcium chloride versus uh, chloride, like that, okay? Now, anyway, calcium is something that's by itself. When something is by itself, that means there's no subscript down here. That can be considered an atom. But when you have a collection of atoms, okay, they're either a molecule or a formula unit. All right, now how you can tell whether it forms a formula unit or a molecule is to look at the first element in the formula. And if that is a metal, then it forms what's called a formula unit. Formula unit, that's supposed to be a U there. Anyway, okay? If the first element is a nonmetal, then it forms a molecule. So, for example, if we had like iron 3, let's just say fluoride, FeF3, iron is a metal, so it is a formula unit. If we had something like, let's see here, like CH4, okay? Carbon is a nonmetal, so this thing right here will be a molecule. If you had something that was just like this, like Li, well, that exists as an atom because it's not a collection of molecules. Whenever you have a collection of molecules, you either have to label it as a formula unit or a molecule. Okay, so that's something that's important. All right, so you can have something like this, LIF. Okay, is that an atom? Is there one of these on the periodic table, or is it a collection of things in the periodic table? You can see it's a collection. The first thing is a metal, so you're going to call it a formula unit. Okay, now let's get back to the problem that I wanted to do here. So it says how many atoms are found in 4.5 moles of sodium? So what you do first is you write down 4.5 moles sodium. Okay, then you draw a picket fence. Now, down here, you're going to put 1 mole. So we got to figure out, when we write this 1 mole right here, 1 mole sodium, we have to be able to label sodium. Is sodium an atom, a molecule, or a formula unit? Well, to be a molecule or a formula unit, it has to be a collection of atoms, and sodium's not. It's just like one atom. So we're going to say that sodium is an atom. So we're going to be able to put 6.02 e to the 23rd atoms up here. And that problem is done. We could solve it if we wanted to, and so we could go 4.5 times 6.02 to the 23rd power, and we end up getting, let's see here, it's 2.709 e to the 24th power. We got 2 significant digits, so we're going to round it to 2.7 e to the 24th atoms. Okay, now I want you to compare that to the one that we have down here. So it says, how many atoms are found in 4.5 moles of sodium chloride? So we write down what the problem gives us, 4.5 moles sodium chloride. Now, when we go to do this problem, we got moles here, so we're going to put moles here. You can see it's always 1 mole for these conversions. So we're going to write 1 mole sodium chloride. Now I know it wants us to go to atoms, but is sodium chloride an atom or a collection of atoms? See, sodium chloride is a collection of atoms. So we can't label it an atom right away. We have to label it either a molecule or a formula unit. Since sodium is a metal, we're going to label it 6.02 e to the 23rd. We're going to label it as a formula unit of sodium chloride. Now, the problem doesn't want formula units. If it did, we'd be done, but it wants atoms. So we have to do one more step. And so we're going to use this one down here because we're at, like right now, if we stop, we're at formula units and we want to go to atoms. So we're going to use this bottom conversion factor right here. And so we got formula units right here. So we're going to write in one formula unit of NaCl. All right, so in NaCl we have sodium chloride. We're going to count the numbers down here. So we got one sodium for every one chloride. Okay, so for every one formula unit there are 2 atoms. Okay, 1, 2. If it was like calcium chloride, let's just say if it was that, we have 1 plus 2, it would be 3 atoms. Okay, if it was like aluminum chloride, then we'd have 1 plus 3 is 4 atoms. But in this case, we got 1 plus 1, it's 2. So now we know that we're done with the problem because we're trying to get to atoms. So we would take 4.5 to the 23rd power. So 4.5, 23rd power. Oh no, it's just 4.5 moles. What am I doing here? Okay, so 4.5 times 6.02 to the 23rd power. Then we got to remember to take it times 2. And that ends up being this number right here. My calculator, it says 5.418 e to the 24th. I come over here and my starting problem has 2 significant digits, so I want to round to 2 here. So it's just going to be 5.4. The 1 keeps the 4 the same. E to the 24th atoms. Okay, that's it for this video. But the trick is to make sure when you have a substance, know how to label it as either an atom, molecule, or formula unit. That's a big trick to being able to do these successfully.